Molly's latest contract put a decidedly unique spin on werewolf hunting. She wanted Mr. Sykes captured alive. Wasn't the cleanest of jobs, and Otto broke off on his own partway through, highlighting the downside of his new independence. But Sykes was delivered in the end. You step into the fighting cell in the aftermath, where two minotaurs are splayed out on the floor. One of them, Atticus Daly, the other, Jemmy Betteridge. Molly's run off with the sample of werewolf blood, and Full is tinkering with something in his laboratory. What will you make of the bloodshed done here tonight, and the part you had in it? Helping Molly and Jemmy deliver Sykes to this ruddy basement? Palpable chill creeps up your legs from the flagstone floor as you examine your surroundings. Not a sound from the party upstairs can be heard, only the steady dripping of an unseen pipe. Yeah, I read that one. A locomotive at full steam couldn't have hit me harder than that little twist. Molly gets trixier by the day. At least I didn't get mauled by a werewolf. Old Jemmy dearly departed, I suppose. I wonder who will miss him, aside from Miss Molly, that is. Speaking of, she absconded with her precious serum. And what about payment for securing Syke? I'll have a look around this ugly dungeon. I shouldn't dawdle if I want to catch up with her. He's out cold, but at least he's still breathing. Wouldn't look out of place in a butcher's shop. He'll be at peace in the afterlife. Sykes hardly held back when he did Jemmy in. You know what? I don't want to talk. I want to touch Sykes. Prisoners. Children in a filthy cell. Wish I could be more surprised. Oh, are you here to rescue us? Finally, a bit of luck. I'm Bertram O'Brien, and this is my sister, Julie. Perhaps you've heard of us. We're the orphans that went missing. There are many, many missing children across London. It's well known that especially the orphans are at risk. And who might you be, miss? Didn't get your name. None of your business, unless you're here to rescue us. That's fair enough, I suppose. Examine the lock. Since I'm here anyway, let me see what I can do with this lock. Made myself a shiv from a broken fork I found under a mattress here. Was planning on sticking Full with it, just waiting for the right moment. That's something I'd really like to see. But this isn't a regular lock. It's not coming open without a key. You're staying where you are for the time being. I'm truly sorry. Well, alright. See? What'd I tell you? Nobody to rely on but ourselves. What's going on that they want children down in this dungeon? We were kidnapped for experiments, sir. They're testing some new medicine or chemical or something. Odin's eye. What about you, little miss? I came here to help my friends escape, but that old codger Full nabbed me and tossed me in here. Wish the muck and walk away. Hate to say it, but I can only wish you luck, unless I come across that key. Don't worry, Julie. Somebody valiant will eventually come along. Hey, that's not... Oh, never mind. But where is Matilda? And who is Matilda? Alright, Eustace. If I recall correctly, that cove's Eustace Full, bit of an oddball. Let's start with the children. I don't care that much about Molly. Care to explain why the children are locked down here, locked in a cell? Children where? Oh, you mean the cherubs flying through the rafters? No, you bloody ingrate, the ones locked in the cell down the hall. Here I was thinking it was just my imagination, but if there were real children down here, they'd be used for scientific experiments, I'm sure. Somebody needs to put you behind bars, boyo. Huh. Being locked up would give me some perspective. It's interesting to be sure, but not as interesting as freedom. You're a real nutter, you know that? Someday you'll answer for this abuse. Oh, pooh. They're just children. They go missing all the time. It's not really a big deal, especially not in London. Alright. Molly O'Malley, where is she? Sorry, short stuff. No clue where Mario Marshmallow is headed. He's decidedly slap happy, drugged to the gills. It's no wonder with the state of the laboratory prison, there's chemical agony in the very air. But you just harvested blood from that werewolf, did you not? Then you handed the blood over to Molly. Where'd she go? Ah, Miss Molly, you mean. She's just down here. I believe she went up for some air. Have a look outside. The gardens are ripe. He lifts a finger as if to test the atmosphere. Right. I believe it stopped raining. Let's leave him be. Man, it is really not a good idea to leave the kids with this guy. No doubt it's used for heating purposes. More likely to dispose of... Doubt it's used for heating purposes. More likely to dispose of defective apparatuses and bodies. I assume that was what the acid was for. Lost enough limbs to know that touching this would mean entering a world of hurt. See if we can make something out of these equations. There's a volume of equations they air to make Otto's inner workings look simple by comparison. It's a complex series of chemical equations. Wonder if whoever wrote this kept working the problem in their head until when they ran out of space. Alright, what about this machine here? What does it do? All this for some light bulbs in the manor upstairs? Nah, this must be powering something else. No sense in trying to unravel this mystery then, perhaps when I've got more time to spare. Dumbwaiter. I wonder if I'll fit in there. Likely used to deliver all manner of goods, food, tools, even body parts, both medicinal and organic. There's no way these bottles of wine are important. Well, how do you do? There's a sizable wine collection in here. I've heard of the lady of the house has a bit of a problem, though looking at these vintages, it's tough to blame her. Navigate the basement to find where Molly ran off to. This is the door we used when we hauled Mr. Sykes. It leads out to the back gardens. Let's consider checking on Atticus again. Last I checked, the minotaur fellow was still down for the count, but he was still breathing. And I'm not sure when he's gonna wake up. What do we do? Do we take care of Atticus or do we catch Molly? Yeah, let's just check on him again. It's the right thing to do. Tend to the victims first. We can always catch Molly later. We know where she lives. It's out cold, but he's still breathing. Yep, okay. I mean, I was hoping there was something I could do about it. The game kind of implied there was something I could do about it. Ah, you tricky game. Did Molly get away? Consider checking on Atticus again? To hell with the bull, man. I need to catch up with Molly and fast. She was nowhere to be found in the basement, so I'd better keep searching the premises. Lady Braxton, bodyguards, ruffians, man. Things are a little intense over there. What about this doggy? Teddy, I have successfully located you. Is that my imagine, or does Otto seem a bit jaunty? He's practically bouncing on his springs, point of fact. It's good to see you, Otto. Where you been? I'm so pleased that we are in proximity again. I recently learned that you might be in danger, so I made it my priority to come help you. Well, it's a damn good of him to watch my back. I guess we're friends after all. I see. But how did you get here? I concealed myself on Lord Braxton's airship and recently disembarked at the back of an outbuilding, which is something rather strange is most certainly going on. Amazing. Seems like the Determination Corps is paying dividends already. And there's more. On the way to this location, I spotted a large, intricate, and unusual device. I'm curious to examine it more closely. Very interesting. That must be what all this hullabaloo is about. Some sort of demo at the guest house. Shall we go on then? Alright, let's not tarry. I feel like we may have skipped a big thing, but maybe it's beneficial that we skipped ahead. Who knows? Choose your own adventure choices are coming to a head here. What from the outside seemed to be an unassuming guest house looks more like a cramped stored for steam-powered gadgets and machineries of every description. Odd vehicles, long discussed disused automatons, and weird parts of all shapes and sizes are heaped here and there under no apparent system. Some of the less recognizable items, medical inventions, you're guessing, or possibly torture devices, are downright disturbing in their aspect. And the whole dim caravan is dominated by a robotic surgeon hanging from above, like a hideous metal spider waiting for fresh prey. Phew, we've arrived at the guest house, unmolested and without hazard. No one in visual range. Current status, hidden. It's a keen vantage point, Otto. I must say, I don't like this rickety ladder much. But we must not let our guard down. We are likely to encounter antagonists at this location. Probability high, more data needed. Hey now, old sport, maybe it's just a barn where Lord Braxton has a workshop. Let's get a look before we get all worked up. Let's eavesdrop, shall we? Silas, I'm here. I have the werewolf blood. Ah, perfect. Lord Braxton should be leading the guests into the back gardens anytime now. She hasn't drowned herself in gin. Hibble data being broadcast, audio receptors at maximum. My automated surgeons are preparing the patient as we speak. That blood was the last component we need to go ahead. I was glad to help, though the task was anything but easy. Yeah, but we all had to do our part, haven't we? I assure you the reward will be commensurate with the effort, but it is a mite early to rest on our laurels. The most important piece of work is almost upon us. What exactly will happen once you begin? The Determination Core is self-anchoring. Once the brain is exposed, a series of prehensile filaments will penetrate the tissue and to place the nodes at the exact right place in the anatomy. That sounds excruciating. Not in the sense you mean. The organ itself has no nerve endings, so the subject won't experience physical pain. However, the subsequent testing sequence, when each node is fired at a variety of incrementally different currents, will trigger multiple regions of the brain in unanticipated ways. Still unpleasant? Yes, incredibly so. But let's not linger on the details. Every scientific advance has required sacrifices, and the greater the advance, the greater the cruelty, it seems. What are the odds of success anyway? Impossible to say, though failures will most certainly mean death. But there are, of course, innumerable others whose suffering may be alleviated, potentially, by the determination core. If one cannot find a vegetable, it's easy enough to make one, yes? What a horrific notion. Man is plainly mad. Would you mind, Miss O'Malley, if I practice my speech for the crowd? It's ever so important to put our guests in the right frame of mind. Yeah, I suppose. Go ahead. Good. Thank you. Dear friends, tonight for your enjoyment, I present you a creature of inestimable pity. This poor wretch, elderly and indigent, was kindly loaned to us by the Bethnal House facility. I extend my thanks to Dr. Wainwright, a man fearless in the pursuit of science. Science is indeed what is being pursued here. The subject is completely devoid of mental faculty, a vegetative husk, whatever humanity she once possessed, no more than a memory. How fortuitous for her, for all of us, that she has been chosen for today's procedure. Reevaluating the meaning of fortuitous fortune. For the first time, a cure is available for this woman's deplorable condition. Not through the magic of ancient gods, but from the ingenuity of man. Fascinating how elegant words can so effectively cloak a terrible crime. With Arsenal Engine's technology, I shall restore the subject's enfeebled mind to sentience, to consciousness, and reverse the devastating effects of disease. And all of you gathered here will bear witness to the most stunning medical advancement of the century. Now look at his expression, like a child yearning for a lolly. Yes, that's very pretty. A bit long, perhaps. Anyway, the procedure is what will win them over. Can we move it along? Approaching decision point. We wish to interfere, we must make haste. The surgery will commence presently. The moral thing would be to intervene. 99% chance for the procedure to fail. Let's be cold calculating. From my own experience with the determination core, I believe the likelihood of failure to be in the 99th percentile. It is a machine designed to enhance the machine. Integration with an organic entity is next to impossible. We must stop this. Bloody hell, Otto, this is worse than I imagined. Perhaps we could access the surgical theater from the door just there. I mean, I have a gun. I could just shoot the guy. There's no time, Otto. We need to cut the power to the machine. Remember that transformer we saw on the way in? I wager that's where the power is being routed from. Back down the ladder and outside. Precisely, my dear friend. Let's save the poor patient's life if we can. Watch out there, here comes Molly's goons. His gait suggests he is overly self-confident. Confront him. We need to deal with whoever this is directly. And if it's necessary, eliminate them entirely. No problem. Let's see if this lunkhead can put up a challenge. Oi! What are you two lurking around out here for? This area is restricted. You best be on your way before I let my sledgehammer do the talking. Technically, sledgehammers are incapable of speech. You better shut your gob, Tin Man, or else you'll let your sledgehammer do the shutting. Pshaw, what a cheeky goddamn rattletrap. Look here, you red beard. That your automaton? That voice. Is that Paco Melendez? Who? Ah, he's a dockhound I met back in the warehouse. Paco Melendez, duly noted. Oi, asked you a question. That little tin trap your property? Because I'm about to smash it to bits if you don't clear out. Alright, lad. Bank that boiler. But if you must know, yes, he's my automaton. I am my own automaton, but if you say the word Teddy, I'll be the last automaton you'll ever see. Moonshine on the water. I'll beat both of you to a pulp. Just try me. This thug is below the average intelligence for a dwarf. Deception is still an option. That is, if the red beard can handle it. Yeah. Let's tell Mr. Teddy to explain. Mr. Teddy, perhaps you can help this gentleman understand the importance of our being out here tonight. Righto, Otto. Look here, Paco, I'm an engineer. As you probably guessed, this is Otto. He's an absolute whiz with circuitry. Keeps me from getting zapped. Neither of us enjoy getting zapped. Bloody hell, what's that got to do with it? Lord Braxton is very keen that the power isn't interrupted during this evening's festivities. We're looking over the system, making sure everything's working as expected. Sounds about right. A lot of electricity going around. I can feel the air buzzing. There's a dirigible nearby, belongs to Lord Braxton, of course. That'd be the reason you can feel the air buzzing. It's drawing the current atmospheric charges in the sky. Atmospherical. Yeah, I know about it. Go on ahead. If you hang about after the fancy jacks are gone, there'll be plenty of grub left. It'll serve us well to be diplomatic whenever possible. Although I can't say it's super beneficial to have a guy wandering around with a sledgehammer. A bad attitude. Shut her down. Aha! Power is coming from Lord Braxton's airship. Clever blighter. It's being routed through this transformer. What a beauty she is. You could power a whole block downtown with a gear like this. Unfortunate that there isn't time to study it further. Reversing the current would cause irreparable damage at the source. Indeed, but that's the tricky bit of work. If I had the tools here on hand, do you think we can manage it? Uncertain, but I do believe this is the best course of action. Yeah, so do I. Can you get the panel open? Use my upgraded strength. Not to worry, I can pry open the panel quite easily. Well done, Otto. Now it's just a little twist and a snip here. Voila! Directive accomplished. The power is no longer flowing to the guest house. Teddy is not holding a wrench. Hypothesis, wrench is left inside the transformer. Warning, wrenches inside the transformer may cause short circuits, leading to potential overheating and rapid system failure. Otto, I think something might be a little off. Run! An explosion is imminent, Mr. Teddy. I suggest we vacate immediately. True friends stab you in the front. Isn't that right, kitty? You're always stabbing me in the front. Clara Reed, Chapter 17, Braxton Marsh. You had an awkward encounter with a minotaur you robbed on the way to Lord Braxton's soiree. Once you arrived, it took some work to track down Zora. But before you could get any real answers, Ivana interrupted and the two of them slipped into the shadows. Alright. I don't have time to finish the last two chapters before I gotta get the kids to school. I'm very sorry, but I think I'm going to have to cut it off here. Thank you so much for watching. I had a great time. I really want to see what happens here. Man, it is really hard to leave just when it's getting good, but that's what I'm doing today. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Every little bit helps, and any money I do eventually make is just going to go to making the quality of content better. When are we going to finish this up? Should I sneak it in Sunday morning? Or not Sunday morning, Saturday night before we play Coral Island? No, I think I'll keep Coral Island the entire playthrough for Saturday. And then I think what we'll do is we'll finish this up on Monday. And maybe we'll grab a demo or something, so when we finish this up, if it takes less than like an hour, then we could throw in something else. I don't know. I'll play it by ear. I'll come up with something this weekend. But I think we will finish up this mystery Monday, same time, 4:30 to 6:30 Central. If you're interested in seeing the end live. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.